So I got on my cell phone, which doesn't have an international phone. I just got to talk to this guy. So anyways, we went to their house. This is them. They're like straight out of Lancaster County, planted in Delhi, India, and it's pretty wild. She made us a traditional Indian meal with chocolate chip cookies for dessert, and I thought, now this is how you should get into a country, you know. So, but it was really fun. They showed us around the city and helped us understand a little bit more of what it's like to be a white European in this place and how that works for them, and it was a good experience. So that, you know, the comfort level was back where I felt like it needed to be. And then we traveled to Nepal by land to start our trek, and the comfort level went, you know, down.
So one of the things that's of high value in most of Asia is space, because there's a lot of people and not a lot of land, unless you go to China, where nobody seems to live, or the western parts. And so the bus that we rode on to get to, well, actually we took a roughly 35-hour trip from New Delhi to Kathmandu, and it was all land. And
part of it was by train, which in India is quite pleasant. I think that's the best part of India. But this is the bus trip that we took to get to our trip.
That we travel on there. I don't know if you can see it.
Is that it?
Yeah. We're cut in the hill there. Check it out.
we counted 85 people on the bus.
Some on top and some on the inside.
This is a 12-hour ride. It's about 60 miles.
This is the one time I did hear from LA.
This is ridiculous. We still have like 100 people in here. No lie. There was 85 on the ride here. Check this out.
So one woman sat on my lap for about 4 hours. She was tightly squeezed against my right shoulder.
But it was some gorgeous scenery, and we didn't die, and so it was definitely worth it. But
I think one issue with this issue of comfort, we make so many decisions based on comfort, and what is that about? Like, I think as we were exploring this, that was the only time we were in real danger of death. So otherwise, why make so many choices based on whether we're comfortable or not? I think there's an issue of fear in there, and I think that as we begin to explore following Jesus, the more that we're guided by fear, the less that's possible. So we spent quite a bit of time in Kathmandu and the Himalayas, well, 2 weeks. We trekked through what they call the Mountain of the Gods. I don't really know what else there is to say about that. A German couple, and we actually trekked with them the whole week. They were also on their honeymoon. That was one of our guides at one point.
Their mind felt especially heavy.
So I want to show you, this was a family that we met. We rented some motorcycles in Kathmandu, which, by the way, I'm not sure I would recommend that. Anyway, he invited us into his house afterwards, which was really cool. So we spent a couple hours there with them. So I think something that was interesting, India, the folks there in northern India, I'm told that the south of India is quite different, but in northern India people are very aggressive, and in Nepal, just over the border, people are extremely mellow, and we have to figure out all of the reasons why there's such difference within not a lot of space. But India has been, northern India particularly was dominated by the British at one point. It was colonized by the British, and actually they've only been independent for 60 years. And I'm not sure what role that plays, but once again there's this issue of sort of what happens when we're left to sort of figure stuff out. And in Nepal, we had hot showers every night on the trek. They use solar. They paint tubes and pipes black and barrels, and they put them on the roof, and they collect water from the rain, and it's gravity fed, and here we have hot showers. And so this level of technology, Nepal's according to their GDP, is one of the gross domestic product is one of the 10 poorest countries in the world. And of course, India is an emerging economy, but there's just a huge difference in how they live.
We're also struck by the simplicity of trekking through the hills there. Everything that comes into them from the outside world comes in on someone's back, and they passed us on the way, like they were just cruising in there, and they didn't have much. We walked, we got invited into one guy's house, that one guy that you saw there in the yellow jacket. He invited us into his house for tea, and we pretty much went in and sat on the beds that they sleep on, while his wife kind of sat on the floor in front of a little campfire that was their kitchen, and made us tea, and wanted to know if we wanted to stay for dinner. And we were like, sure, that's great. And so it was just really neat to see the simple lifestyle and the fullness of life that was still there without all the technology and without all the modern conveniences and things like that. And the kids are running around. They were flying a kite made out of a trash bag, and just running around and having a good time. And that was just really powerful. Also,
for example, this one guy got 10 to 15 minutes of amusement out of my video camera.
Okay, so today we're going. How's it? We're going down. Yesterday was really hard. Yeah, we're going to Tibet.
We saw Tibet yesterday. We're not doing that.
Anyway, my feet hurt, and that's the deal. You see yourself? Oh? Yeah? Okay, okay. Okay. Is this your house? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, very nice, huh? Okay.
he starts yelling to his friends up on the hill, okie dokie.
It really stuck out to me that the lack of material possessions there brought some level of freedom and some different spirit that I haven't experienced in people here.
And it was definitely more prevalent up in the hills, but it felt that way in the city of Kathmandu too, where everyone just seemed really friendly, and they were excited to talk to you, and like you said, their motorcycle buddy invited us in, and it was just really, really fun. So I was not feeling like if I could fly from Kathmandu directly to Indonesia, that would be way better than going back to India at this point. But we did stick with the plan, sort of. We flew into Calcutta, decided we didn't want to take the time or lose the personal space of taking a bus trip again. So we just got a flight from Kathmandu to Calcutta, and I was really nervous, feeling like this is going to be horrible. The next 2 weeks, I actually had a countdown going for a little while when we got to leave. But we got to Calcutta, and it was really, really awesome. There was a lot of, I don't know if it was because the initial shock had worn off or what it was, but there was a lot